Do you hate asking a girl out over text? Do your date proposals get turned down once too often? Or are you just better with your voice than with text? Then I've got good news for you, because in this video I'm going to give you a very primitive but efficient tip to get about 69 times more girls on dates. It is picking up the phone and calling her. In this video you get why would you call a girl when you can text her, but also when to call a girl, what to say during the phone call, what if she rejects your date proposal during the phone call, or even worse, what if she doesn't even pick up the phone. There's a masterful solution to all of these problems, and you'll get to know in the coming minutes. Tip number 1, why call her when you can text her? First of all, there's nothing wrong with texting. I do it all the time. But if you're a bit like me, then you may be texting more out of habit and laziness than for its efficiency. Because if you are a guy that's better at talking than texting, then the choice will be super easy. If you're not better at talking than texting, then still, hear me out. When you actually pick up the phone and call her, it is way easier to set the right vibe. Things like teasing or conveying a light-hearted, laid-back vibe become so much easier when you can use your actual voice. Imagine making a sarcastic tease over text. I see guys doing this all the time, and one too many times the sarcasm doesn't come across over text and it backfires on them. Now imagine if you just pick up the phone and you call her, and you can make the sarcasm clear through your intonation, then it will almost never backfire and it's just way easier to tease her that way. But the best part about picking up the phone might just be to hear her actual voice. That means no more endless guessing that when you do pop the question to ask her out, if she actually wants to see you or not. And don't worry, I'll tell you exactly how to pop the question, but when you do, you will literally hear in her voice how she feels. And once you feel more at ease doing phone calls, you will notice that your success rate when asking a girl out will be way higher than over text. That brings us to tip number 2, when should you call her? There are 3 different ways to set up a phone call. The first one, the most obvious, is when you guys are texting. It can be when you're texting back and forth really fast, or there's huge time gaps in between, but you pretty much just let her know that you feel like calling her sometime and then see how she reacts. The second one is a bit more convenient. It's when you're texting back and forth, so you know that she has the phone in your hand, you obviously have your phone in hand, and you hit her with a, let me give you a quick call. And the third one is my personal favorite, when you guys are talking about whatever it is you're talking about, and you notice that she's interested in the topic, then you can just tell her like, wow, this is too much to type, or this is hard to explain over text, let me give you a quick call. This is also very convenient when you're on an app like, for example, Hinge, or any app with prompts, or you have a very good Tinder bio that makes her curious about something you're saying and she wants to know more. Then you can just tell her like, hey, this is too much to type, but I'll explain later over a voice message or a call. Tip number 3, what to say during the phone call. The most important thing when starting a phone call is for you to know that you will probably have to lead the phone call. When calling up a girl, very seldomly will she be over the moon excited that you're calling and instantly starts telling how her day was or this or that. So when you do hit her up, be prepared, you'll have to lead. And a very easy way to do this is to have 1 or 2 questions prepared that you can ask. Now luckily, these don't have to be the most complicated questions. Something as simple as a, hey, how are you? Or how was your day? Is good enough on the phone. Never send this over text, that doesn't work. I've been preaching that for 20 million videos straight. But on the phone, this actually works. A personal favorite of mine to start the conversation on a phone call is something as simple as, hey Sarah, I was just on my way to get some groceries and I thought, how would Sarah be doing? Or, hey Sarah, I'm just on my way to the gym and I thought, let me give Sarah a quick call. Then, the second important thing to know is don't instantly ask her out after you've exchanged a couple sentences. First, you need to exchange some banter. This can be things as simple as what you're going to do, what she has been doing, if there's anything fun coming up in her week or whatever. It's more about the vibe and you sounding laid back than the actual content of the words. So once you've done that back and forth bantering, then you can ask her out. When you do ask her out, you should never go very specific. Something that works better over text doesn't work on the phone. So you're not gonna be like, hey, by the way, Sarah, let's grab a drink Saturday at 6 p.m. at this coffee bar, or Sunday 12 over lunch at the bowling place. The trick is, again, to be nice and laid back, let her breathe, keep it super low pressure, and first get a feel of if she would even be down to meet you. It could be something as simple as, hey, I feel like we should grab a coffee sometime. What do you say? Just something as vague as this, no specific time, place, no dress code and all that stuff. And then when you notice that she says yes or whatever sort of positive feedback, then you follow it up with, cool, I'll text you about it once I figure out my schedule some more. She'll agree, you banter some more, and you finish up the phone call. Tip number 4. What if she rejects the date proposal on the phone? Over the phone, guys make the same mistake as over text. And this is when you do a date proposal and she rejects it, they tend to give a second and a third proposal straight away. You know, it's like, hey, can you do this with me then? She's like, no. Oh, then how about we do this then? No. Okay, how about we do this then? It's just an endless series of no's, and it makes you seem very needy. It makes you seem very desperate, and this is definitely not the way to go. Here is what you do instead. So you shoot a date proposal and she shoots it down. For example, hey, I feel like we should grab a coffee sometime. And she goes, yeah, you think so? I'm not so sure. Instead of really trying to lock in the date, just start talking about something else. For example, you could say, well, yeah, I think so, but anyway, oh my god, the cutest dog just walked past. And you start talking about this. Do you have dogs? Do you ever want a dog? Whatever. It could be literally anything. Oh yeah, I think we should, but something totally unrelated. Have you seen season 2 of The Mandalorian yet? And you start talking about this. Star Wars The Mandalorian might not be the best subject, but don't pay too much attention to the rejection and start building a nice vibe again. Just like earlier, it's more about the vibe. And then once you have the good banter going, you could propose again some sort of date idea. Rather broad at first, and then once she sounds more excited, then you'll just do the same thing. Cool, I'll shoot you logistics sometime over text once I have my schedule figured out, or whatever. And last but not least, a very annoying situation. What if you're trying to call her, but she doesn't pick up the phone? Something super annoying, and me personally, whenever I'm going to call someone, I'm always praying it's not going to happen. You have this great idea to call her on the phone, and you call, but she doesn't pick up. What do you do then? Well, first let me tell you what you don't do, and this is exactly what most guys do. You don't do the date proposal on her voicemail. If she does not pick up, you have two options. One, you hang up the phone, give her a reasonable amount of time to see that you called, at least a couple hours, and then you can call her again. Or you can leave a quick voicemail where you just say something as like, hey yo, it was Louis, tried to give you a quick call. I'll catch you at a more convenient time. I hope you're enjoying your day. Hang up. Something as simple as that. But never do the date proposal on the voicemail. Then later, when you give her a second call, if she's actually interested, she'll have noticed you called and she will answer the phone. Or if she's super interested, she might even call you back herself. On the other hand, if you are calling her a second time and she still doesn't answer the phone, and she also doesn't text you like, hey, I seem to have missed your calls, what's up, or whatever, then I'm sorry to say, man, but clearly she's probably not interested. Still, if I were you, I would still text her. You never know why she wasn't interested. Maybe both times she was super busy and she's forgetful about texting back. But please, when you do text her, don't be butthurt. Don't cry or whine about why didn't you pick up the phone or whatever. Just come in as usual with a fun, light-hearted vibe. make her day a little bit better as well, and this will give you the best odds of still getting her out on a date. These were some quick tips to call a girl to get her out on a date. For my free copy-pastable text, my clickbait opener, my profile checklist and all that goodness, check the video description down below. Leave a like if you actually liked the video, subscribe if you feel like it, I would appreciate it, and I'll see you in another video.